So I want to try some things that are a little bit more advanced with these. I got the yoga blocks and how I use them. I mean, I use them for a lot of different things, but one of the things I like to do is kind of an L-sit, an elevated L-sit. And normally I do this on the yoga mat, but I wanted to move that out of the way for the Spyder360. So, but what I do is actually I'll elevate myself into an L-sit position, which of course that engages your core, your abs, and some stabilizers in your legs to keep those up, your hip flexors, of course your shoulders, and then I like to move into a plank position from there. So I'll go from here through the middle and into a plank position. I don't even know if I have the stability built up, especially first time trying this with the Spyder360, but I want to see what an L-sit feels like, and then see what maybe transitioning into into that plank feels like as well. So we'll move these over here. The one thing I do like about this is that instead of having palms flat, this allows you to do some floor movements where instead of putting the strain on your wrists of having a flat palm, this actually allows you to straighten your wrist. And I have issues with my wrists, both of them, and so this is actually going to, in some ways, be a lower impact movement. While I'm hoping, well, I know I will engage a lot more stuff. So this could be kind of a win-win as far as piece of equipment for me. So first, getting up into just the L-sit. Let's see what this is like. Oh. Man, that's really hard to keep your axis straight. So this has a lot. This is great though, because this is going to require you to build up more balance and stabilizer strength. Try again here. Keep wanting to tilt. Man, yeah, that requires a lot more just to stay in that position. I doubt that I can even get through that transition without sliding all over the place, but let's try. I'm sliding. I think actually before might be a little tilted. I feel myself wandering a little bit. So maybe actually having a little bit of friction under this might be helpful. Maybe I'll try it with the yoga mat underneath it. Okay, so we're going to try something different this time. Without the yoga mat, these almost had too much mobility, and there's a little bit of an off axis to the floor. It's just a little bit tilted, and I found myself, even just coming off the ground a little bit, these just started to kind of wander and throw my balance, which it's already going to take me a lot to build up enough stabilizer and balance to do these movements stationary, let alone having that much movement. So what I've done is I'm going to try these again on the yoga mat, and I still have some movement, so they'll still slide around, but there's a little bit of friction to them so that I'm not just kind of free sliding wherever the floor is taking me. So I'm going to try these again. I'm going to go from an L-sit. I'm going to try and see what an L-sit feels like from the floor. So this has got a little bit of a movement, but it's basically like if I was on bars. So that's kind of a nice, even from the floor, having the ability to use these basically like a set of bars, parallel bars. And so I'm assuming as I transition, it's going to be the same kind of thing, but also it's going to give me some flexibility to move. It's going to give me some flexibility to move through the actual transition. So we'll try this. So I can go a little wider grip. we're coming closer. Man, that's a lot more on the forearms and shoulders than just using the yoga blocks. It's a lot of stabilizer right there. Whew. It's a lot to think about too with your balance.